Greetings, fellow anime gamers, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different from the norm that I usually do on this channel. I wanted to just share some of my special gaming memories from the past. In particular, one that I have with a certain NES title. Now, I'm going to take you back to the late 80s, early 90s. That's my, I'm taking you back to the late 80s, early 90s sound effects. So, before we had Blockbuster in my area, all the rentals that we got were from a certain place called Video Palace. Now, to this day, I'm not really sure if Video Palace was anything nationwide or if it was just something exclusively to the area I lived in, sort of like a mom and pop rental place. But it was the business that was closest to my house. So because of that, we would go there often. I remember them having walls and walls and shelves full of NES games and Master System games and VHS tapes and even Beta. And it was definitely one of my favorite places to be as a kid. So once I got my first ever video game console, that being the NES, in the late 80s, it ended up being a frequent stomping ground of mine as a child. Now, throughout the years, my mom would take me there all the time, and I would pick out a game to rent for 3 days on the weekend. It'd be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I can't remember what the cost was. I want to say it was maybe something like maybe $2 for a rental, something like that. And I was always the one, of course, that picked out the games. My mom would occasionally play video games too from time to time, but it was something that me and my dad would usually do. This was sometime in the summer, I remember, and I wanted to rent a Nintendo game. However, when I asked my mom if I could do so, she told me, "Oh, we don't have enough money for a game rental this weekend." Growing up, we didn't have a lot of money back then, so I was like, okay, that's fine, maybe next time. So, I got home, put my backpack down, took off my shoes. So lo and behold, I walk into my mom's room, which is where we kept the Nintendo at because I didn't have a TV in my room during this time. And I walked in there and I saw on the floor a Nintendo game. And I thought to myself, I don't recognize this game. It was called Mousecapade. And I found out that she actually had rented the game of her own accord. I didn't even ask for this game. She just felt like renting it for me. And it just surprised the heck out of me. I was so overjoyed, and it was so special to me because it was something that she had rented on her own. Like I said, I don't even recall ever asking for this game. And I was like, I was a big Disney fan, of course, growing up, so this was something right up my territory. And I never actually knew the reason why she did this. Maybe it's just something that she felt like doing, or she was passing by there and thought, hey, I'll rent him a game. And what's interesting is that it was the first and only time she ever did that. Because while my mom always was very supportive of my video game habits, I guess you could call them now, she, like all moms in that time, she was pretty clueless as to what was the next game that I wanted or the next big thing and so forth. So, she knew about Disney, she knew who Mickey Mouse was, and she thought, oh, this looks like a game he would probably enjoy. And yeah, she never did that again. But it was so special and so emotional to me that she did that it just always stuck with me. And like I said, she was always very supportive of my games. To a point, she would make sure that I would keep my grades high. My homework always came first before my games. And so long as I did that, she was always fine with my hobby. And so over the years, she took me as the Sega Genesis came out, the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation 64. She would take me every weekend to go rent a game. It was something she was always very supportive with, but she never again rented a game on her own. So that just made that moment all the more special to me. Now, the game itself, it's okay. It stars Mickey and Minnie. You play as Mickey, with Minnie being the AI that kind of follows behind you. And I'm not sure to what the story is regarding this game. Back then, you were lucky to get the manual with the rental, and unfortunately, I was not lucky, and I just got the video cart. So I wasn't sure as to what was going on with the story. There's no intro scene or anything like that. You just press start, and the game just automatically begins. There's 5 worlds to explore in this game, and what's kind of odd is that they're very random. The first level probably might take you anywhere from like 10 minutes or so to complete on the first time, while the second stage probably takes you like less than 5 minutes. And there's even one area that's literally just 4 screens before the boss fight. So it's very inconsistent in the level design. It almost feels like 5 different people created the 5 different worlds in this game. The controls and music are good. The music is it's very appropriate for the stages. They're all different and unique, and I really enjoyed them. Some of them I even have ripped to my iPod. The only kind of problem I had with this title is that Minnie can be sort of problematic. As I said, she follows behind you as an AI partner, and while she is impervious to all attacks that the enemies throw out, she can die by falling off a ledge. Whereas if she does fall off a ledge, then you automatically die. I guess you just are like so heartbroken over her death that you just like commit mouse suicide or something. And she can also get kidnapped during certain parts of the level if you're not careful. And then you're not allowed to complete the stage without her. So you gotta go and search for her in different areas. So I would say, I think if Minnie was just maybe a player 2 character, or maybe just omitted completely and you just played as Mickey, the game would be much, much more enjoyable. As I said, I'm not too sure about the story on this title, but I have beaten it, and it even leads up to a sort of kind of plot twist at the end, or at least a plot twist as far as NES standards go, which is subtly hinted at as you progress through the game. It's a short game though. Once you get adapted to how the level design works and you've beaten it once, it'll probably take you like no more than 15 minutes to beat the game each time afterwards. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of share my special game memories that I have with this title. It's certainly not the greatest NES game ever created. In fact, these days you can probably find it for dirt cheap, close to around like $5 or so I've seen it go for. But because of the special sentimental value it has and the ties with my mother from the past, it's something that's very, very important to me. And probably will remain so for the rest of my days. Alright guys, so tell me, what are some of your gaming memories? Do you have some tied to a certain game from your past that you're really nostalgic for, like I am with this one? I want to know down in the comments below. And as always, anime gamers, we must forge our own path. Anything is possible. Thanks for watching.